So, what is LLI? LLI is a very, very new group in BP because it has only 2 years old. And this group has been created in 2010, in March 2010, to solve a very specific issue, that is to connect a modem with an application processor, and particularly to share the memory between these two components. The goal was to save some money, because we think that we can save the memory that is attached to the modem, sharing the application processor memory that is quite huge, and we can probably allocate a part of this memory to the modem. So this interface must be a very low latency, because it is mainly targeted to refill the cache of the modem. So this, in fact, implies the following charter. So what was the charter of LLI? Just to summarize very quickly. In fact, it is to tie together two chips, and whatever it was at the beginning, whatever the interface used, I mean whatever the file used, but we focused on the end file today. It is address based because it is mainly to support cache refill, as I said. The internal transfer mechanism is packet based. This payload with header because it is going through a SerDes, that is the M5 today, and it is point to point because we are using the M5 technology. For sure, we target at first low latency because the latency is dominated the CPU performances of the modem. So it is our first focus, and all the decision of this working group is based on this topic. Now we want to support another aspect. It is massive data transfer through this interface, because we have to support as well IPC connection between modem and application chip. But this is a secondary priority. We have also to support remote configuration, because if we assume that we can manage a modem, we need to have access to its configuration space as well. The other point that is included inside this charter is that, in fact, the transaction must not be controlled by the software. I mean, while the link is programmed, the software must not make any intervention on the link. We can think about a software that is making some interference when a processor wants to refill its code from a remote memory. So this interface is fully transparent versus the software. Only the software is used for configuring the link and the source. The last point is the transaction that are passed through LLI must be easily mappable on the existing buses that are used in the mobile industry, that is OCP, ANBA, and this kind of bus. So just to summarize what is LLI, it is really an interface that is merging two interconnects of two chips in order to allow CPU to refill its cache remotely, or another accelerator that is inside the modem to access to the memory through the interconnects that are linked to LLI, with LLI. The next property of this interface is that after implementing this kind of capability, we can build any kind of companion chip in place of chip 2. Chip 1 is an application processor, for example, but chip 2 can be any kind of other chips. The next property of LLI is that it is merging these two interconnects, and the behavior of these two interconnects behave as a single interconnect. This means that the good property of that is that if you build a companion chip that is like that, because you need some extending capability to your main chip, what you can do is the next generation is to take your hardware accelerator that is here and to implement this into your main chip without any software change. The software will stay exactly the same, because in fact LLI has a good property to merge these two interconnects, even if they are different natures. there could be an OCP1 here and an ICP1 here. This will work. Okay, and the other thing that we implemented is LLI, the signaling capability, because when you have a CPU or hardware accelerator, for sure you need to provide some interrupt capability to a main processor that is managing your operating system. So in fact, LLI is capable to transmit some signals through some dedicated packets to transmit all the signaling that you want. Where LLI is used, it could be used, and it is used mainly for modem, for sure, for memory sharing purpose, but it is used as well for companionship extensions, and it could be used as well for wireless LAN chips extension as well. So what we did from 2010, we generated two board-approved specifications. The first one is the 0.8, that is a specification that is ready for design. We released that specification in August, and we have now the 1.0 that is board-approved this year in April. So this specification is ready to finalize the 0.8 specification, and it is available now for MIPI members. In LLI working group, we have two sub-working groups because we need to address the software aspect, I mean the IPC software, and we need as well to address test and interoperability. So the first subgroup is focused on IPC and primarily on modem IPC. Because in fact we found that we are always rewriting the same software when we are connecting a modem and an application chip. So we decided to standardize this. I list the basis of this software. And what are the bases is mainly the layout of the buffers, the protocol, how we can exchange the signaling between the modem and the application chip. And it is the main charter of this sub-working group. We are not going to generate a specification yet. It is today planned to generate a white paper, and probably later on we will convert this white paper into specification. The second sub-working group is for test and interoperability, because it is really important that we can define a framework to be sure that when two companies want to use LLI and to certify, not certify, but to test the interoperability of their implementation, there are the right framework and the right list of test cases to experiment during these events, these interoperability events. So it is the main focus on this working group, sub-working group. We also generated a FAQ document because there was a lot of questions about LLI. We summarized all these questions and we decided to generate this document that is now board approved and available for everybody as well. And what next? After the 1.0, we decided to enhance a little bit LLI because there was a lot of demand for that. And the main demand was to improve the efficiency of the link for massive data transfer. Because on the primary focus, we focus on latency, and we cannot focus in the same time on latency and high throughput. It's not possible to do that. But people want now to use LLI for high throughput transfers, so we have to create some larger frames that can embed more data with a limited header to increase the throughput of the link. So it is the main purpose of this part of the specification. There is also dedicated support for IPC signaling, because in fact IPC is requesting to manage a bunch of channels for upstream, downstream, and depending on the services that IPC wants to support. And it is why we have to dedicate a set of signaling for the IPC support. And it is now inside the specification. IPC subgroup asked us as well to enhance the power management. I mean, they want some specific functions such as the wake-up latency. That is very important for modem. They define a different level of wake-up latency. For example, in some use cases it is 1 millisecond, in other use cases it is 10 milliseconds. And this must be supported by LLI as well. The other part of the enhancement for LLI2 is the enhancement of the power management as well. And this is under definition today, so I cannot tell a lot of more about that. But there is some nice features that we are developing now. One, for example, is to wake up some specific feature of the system on chip. For example, we have low latency pass and best effort pass in LLI. And sometimes we want to wake up only the low latency pass. And we need to develop some way to tell the system on chip to do that, to manage the power very, very nicely. The status now is that we developed 2 drafts of this LLI2. And this preliminary draft, we cannot design anything with that. We implemented probably 90% of what we link the jumbo frame, I mean the increasing link efficiency, and probably 90% as well of the IPC support. What it is fully missing is the power management support. And we expect this new release to be done probably in September. And we expect the board to approve this last release end of the year. It would be nice. About the people that are working in this working group. So we have, I am from TI for the working group chair. We have the vice working chair that is from STE. Another one from TI. IPC subgroup is from Intel, and it is from the ex-Infineon part. I mean the people that are focused on modem. For test and interoperability, we have David Wolf from UNH, as well that is very specialized in this kind of topic. And there is many people that are writing this specification now, and that are involved to this specification. You have the list of contributing company as well. And we have a lot of people that are attending each week with Telco and that contributing a lot to LLI now. So if you have questions, they are welcome.